Enniscorthy opened the scoring with a penalty by Killian Lett, and about 3 or 4 minutes before half time, Rory McInerney equalised for Kilkenny. Kilkenny now with the benefit of a strong breeze behind them, Dermot, and we've just taken last year's Towns Cup final and this year's. We've had 3 halves of rugby with hardly a look of a try, and as you pointed out during the break there, extra time as well last year. Could we be heading in the same direction?
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we get some tries in the second half. McGrath clears the ball, big box kick, but it's taken superbly by Ivan Jacob for Enniscorthy. So Enniscorthy with a chance in the first attack of the second half. Ivan Poole with a big long loopy pass out. It is taken on by Enniscorthy. And Evan Lett, who's back on, who went off a few minutes before half time, is back on. Huey O'Neill back on the bench. So that's the rolling sub. First 2 rolling subs, if you like. So it's Killian Lett in midfield, sends it forward. It's Timmy Morrissey, who is wearing 6, even though the programme has Morrissey wearing 8. It's Morrissey wearing 6 and Sean Wall wearing 8. And Kilkenny have turned that over, and they're driving forward. Referee's given a penalty against them for holding on the ground. So it's first chance a couple of minutes into the second half for Enniscorthy to get their nose in front again.
And you would think that, yes, I see Enniscorthy pointing to the posts, and you would think that Killian Lett will have a kick a goal here. There is a very strong breeze. Can't really stress just how strong it is, which will certainly aid him. Although sometimes at Dermot it can be difficult to actually gauge the wind, as you know. It's not going straight down the field, it seems to be coming more across, and you were saying earlier on that is not really the normal prevailing wind here.
Yeah, it seems to be blowing into the right hand corner as we look to our right. Normally it blows into the left hand corner, so it's blowing across the pitch. It's Ivan Poole, the out half, with the kick. It's on the 10-metre line. It's what I see while we're talking, I see Evan Lett coming off again. So Ivan Poole with the kick. It's long enough, but it seems to have been pushed a little to the right, and it's touched down by Liam Caddy. And just to say, Evan Lett has gone off again, so it looks like that ankle injury he picked up in the first half has done his day in, and it's Huey O'Neill back on at a scrum half for Enniscorthy. Another great take by Ivan Jacob as he was tackled by John Phelan, but he managed to sneak away. Ivan Poole driving forward, looking for somebody to hand it off to.
Another penalty being signalled here by referee Tim Townend. And we'll be back as Enniscorthy lose possession. Ivan Poole a couple of times now, Dermot, has been going forward, is holding the ball one-handed, kind of looking for that offload, but the runners just aren't quite getting onto his shoulder to take it. He looks like a person who certainly could put somebody into space if they ran the right lines.
Yes, it just seems they're not quite on the same page as he is. So, but he has a chance now to make amends for a miss a couple of minutes ago. A chance to put Enniscorthy back in front. This time it's just inside the 10-metre line, and it's more straight than the previous one, which was maybe 10-15 metres further out to the left.
And a fine kick there by Killian Lett. Again, he was studying motion there. The head was well down, and he struck right through the ball, hit it dead straight. And from the 10-metre line, he has now given Enniscorthy a 6-3 lead. And we've had about 5 minutes in the second half. Yeah, actually only 4 minutes in the second half, Gordon. So it's a good start by Enniscorthy. They're already making better use of the wind than Kilkenny did in the first half. So it's McInerney with the restart for Kilkenny. And can he get it across the 10? He has indeed. It's a good kick. It hangs there. It's taken by Morrissey. The Enniscorthy pack arrived to set up the ruck. Back to Ivan Poole, whose kick is coming straight towards us. But it's straight in. It was taken back inside the 22, so we go back for the line out. So it's a chance for Kilkenny to get straight back into the game here. Yes, that was an uncharacteristic error there by Ivan Poole. I don't think he was aiming for the touch, but he screwed off the outside of his foot, and really he should just been looking to pump that long down the field and make Kilkenny try and run back from deep in their own half.
So it's Martin Lahey with a throw for the Kilkenny men. He throws it towards the Ninehouse, but it evades him. However, at the very back, it's Jason Connolly who manages to tidy up, drives forward, and the ball is available for McGrath. Sends it out to his captain, Doc O'Connor. Again, McGrath is there to feed on the recycle. This time it's with Darren O'Brien out to Morden. This time Caddy comes in on the right flank. And it's Kilkenny driving forward now. Back with McGrath. Back to McInerney. Comes to Carter. The ball is knocked forward by Carter. And it's a scrum, a relieving scrum, on the 22 for Enniscorthy.
I'm very impressed, Dermot, with the distribution of Rory McInerney, the out half. He's got a lovely spin pass off either hand, and he's certainly giving some space outside for his outside backs to try and make progress. And again, they look dangerous there, going down the right hand side. They just haven't been able to make that the final incision, but they certainly look like quite a talented backline.
So it's Hughie O'Neill with the feed as the two packs engage for the scrum. And the Enniscorthy scrum again is as it finished the first half, seems to be very secure. The ball is back with O'Neill. He gives it to Ivan Poole, who this time drills it low along the ground. It's taken by Caddy inside his own half. He goes forward. Killian Lett with the tackle. Daniel Pym comes in to join him, and he's driven Caddy back a good 6 or 7 metres. And Kilkenny struggling to get the ball back. But somehow, ball comes back to McGrath. McInerney out to Sean Morden. It comes off his knee, so it's not a knock on, it's play on. He pops it inside. And it's Lahey, and Lahey makes a surging run forward. He makes 20, 30 metres. McGrath is there to recycle, but the ball comes off John Phelan and it's taken then by Daniel Pym. So the game suddenly, there's a bit of a openness to the game, which wasn't there earlier. It's again driven forward by Enniscorthy.
Daniel Pym that time driving it forward. It was a great chance for Kilkenny, and they cannoned off with Kilkenny players. They tried to move it and bounced up into the arms of Enniscorthy. And now a good kick downfield, but again Caddy, and we'll see.
Yes, it was a tricky kick by Daniel Pym, who has been in this game more in the second half than he was in the entire first half. In the opening minutes of the second half, I should say, he's been very involved. And of course, his uncle is the former Old Wesley and Leinster captain Chris Pym. Chris, I think, who captained Leinster for the first time in the professional era.
And talking of Chris Pym, certainly he was a handful to referee in his time. A man who one would say played very much on the line, but was a tremendous servant to Old Wesley and to Leinster over many years. And there was a crooked throw there by Enniscorthy, gives Kilkenny a chance for relieving a scrum. Ivan Jacob did very well to close down Caddy to set up that line out there. He bumped him into touch, but now Kilkenny have a scrum, but there is an injury, and
Ross Barber was getting treatment there. The Enniscorthy bench were screaming for the ref to stop the game. He has stopped the game now, but Ross Barber appears to be fully recovered, and he's taken his place inside his own half. In fact, he's the only one at the moment inside the Enniscorthy territory.
And during that little break, the Kilkenny captain Doc O'Connor took the opportunity to have a lengthy discussion with the referee about something. I doubt these chats do take place, but I can't see the referee changing what he's doing. But O'Connor certainly engaged well there with them.
So it's McGrath with the feed for Kilkenny inside their own 10-metre line. Ball is fed quickly, but they're under pressure. The Enniscorthy scrum has definitely taken over. The ball is bouncing around. It's like a pinball at the moment. Enniscorthy have recovered. Ball is out with. It came from, I would say, with Ivan Poole. He loops with Pym, and the ball is now out with O'Neill. O'Neill is certainly a high tackle, and then the referee is the hand out. There was a knock on, and it's a penalty to Enniscorthy.
And maybe Dermot, Enniscorthy or Kilkenny are lucky it's only a penalty, because although cover was coming across, it took that high tackle to stop that attack. They were looking decidedly threatening. We thought we might be getting our opening try of the game, as Kilkenny picks the ball to touch 5 metres short of the Kilkenny line for an attacking line out. Where the Enniscorthy scrum has grown in confidence and power throughout the game, you can't say the same for their lineouts. This will be an interesting one for them.
Yeah, and I see that Paul Bulger has gone in scrum half for Enniscorthy, and Enniscorthy are penalised for a crooked throw. And
no, that was
I'm certainly perplexed by that.
That was
decision.
actually for dumbing the line out. That was what that free kick was
but
for.
I'm perplexed by Enniscorthy not going for goal there. It's a cup game. Their kicker has got his shooting boots on, even though he missed one, and their line out has been their Achilles heel today. So it certainly was not the easiest kick in the world, but it was certainly worth a pop to put them 6 points clear. But the line out has malfunctioned, and it's now a line out to it's still a line out. It was a free kick, so it's still a line out to Enniscorthy, but they're now 25-30 yards further back. And the referee now is having a chat, I think, with the two skippers. He's talking to Killian Lett and to David O'Connor. Decky O'Brien is involved as well. So all seems well again. So again, a line out for Enniscorthy. This time they're inside the Kilkenny 10 metre line. This time they throw to Tomas Stamp at the front. Tomas lets it back to Paul Bulger, who's in scrum half now. O'Neill has gone on the wing. Hugh O'Neill but it's a loopy pass that time. Out to Poole, gives it to Decky O'Brien. Decky drives forward, makes about 5 metres. Bulger again out to Poole. Killian Lett manages to avoid the tackle of Darren O'Brien. Ball is back with Bulger, but he somehow manages to get rid of John Phelan. I'm not sure how he did that. But the referee, I think, has a handout. He has indeed. He had a handout for an earlier infringement, and it's a penalty again for Enniscorthy. So I think this time they'll definitely be having a pop at the post.
Yes, it was a very scrappy period of play there, and Kilkenny have been penalised for coming in the side of that maul. So just inside the 10 metre mark, slightly on the right hand side of the pitch. He's kicked one from the similar distance, Dermot, yes. Put them 6-3 ahead. So just slightly more to the right. And again he's pushed it to the right, and that
this is a tricky breeze for the kickers to judge here, Gordon. And unfortunately for Enniscorthy, Ivan Poole wasn't able to slot that kick, so it remains 6 points to 3. So still anybody's game. McInerney with the dropout from his own 22. It's a good one. Well, I think it's knocked forward by Doc O'Connor as he competed with Decky O'Brien in the air. Enniscorthy have, so they have an advantage. Again, it's O'Neill to Poole, this time to Killian Lett. Killian out to Ross Barber, who joins the line. He gives it out to Ivan Jacob, but Ivan loses the ball. However, it went back, so Enniscorthy still have it, and the referee is saying knock forward this time by Kilkenny. Scrum to Enniscorthy outside just inside, I should say, the Kilkenny 22.
Right, Butch, let's go! Keep the leg in!
Again, Dermot, it's difficult to see how Kilkenny are going to get back into this game with this strong wind in their faces. We've most of the match now has been played down to our right, with the wind being so strong. As
the referee breaks them up again. It's a reset, and again it's Paul Bulger, who started the day on the left wing but has now moved into scrum half, who has the ball and is waiting for the two packs to engage before he feeds. what has become a dominant Enniscorthy scrum since about 10 or 15 minutes before half time. So down they go. It's wheels a bit, but Bulger gets it away. He hesitates for a moment, which gives the defence a chance to find their paces, and the ball comes back from Pym. Offloads, lovely offload from Poole to Killian Lett, but I'm afraid the ball has now gone out to the wing, and it's tidied up by Enniscorthy, and they have it again. Bulger again, this time Killian Lett standing in the out half position. He manages to avoid one man, two men. He's floating over to the right, but his pass, I'm afraid, it goes straight to the touch, and there's another attack petering out.
Yes, Killian Lett is showing the benefit of his senior experience there. He was quite hemmed in, but he managed to sidestep 2-3 people, make some vital yards, but unfortunately the final pass just didn't go to hand. And Kilkenny will have a line out, which Lahey will throw into. Well taken to the front there by Wesley Carter. Kilkenny set up the maul. They're deep inside their 22, and all McInerney can do is just kick to. They only gain about 10 metres from very good clean line-out ball there, Dermot.
Yeah, it's as much as he could have done into that strong breeze. So it's a chance again for Enniscorthy if they can get their line-out functioning. Every other part of the game seems to be in sync with the line-out so far. So Tomas Stamp, Sean Wall, it's going to go to Wall at the front, secures it, gives it back to Stamp. Stamp turns, drives forward, manages to feed it back for Bulger, out to Ivan Poole. Daniel Pym comes on a dummy run, goes to Killian Lett. Lett is tackled. There's been a loss of ground by Enniscorthy there. They're back at their own 10 metre line. Ivan Poole kicks forward as he's tackled by Nienhouse, and it's a good kick because it forces Kilkenny into Joe Manuel. All he could do there was just gather the ball and run into touch, and Enniscorthy now are threatening again within 10 metres, maybe even 5 metres of the Kilkenny line.
Yes, good pressure there by Enniscorthy to put the ball deep into the Kilkenny half. So this can the line out work for a second occasion here? They lost one. No, they have managed to hold on to it. It was scrappy, but it came back on their side. Kilkenny man lying on the wrong side there, but he's moved clear. The ball will be moved out now. They're keeping it tight. Pick and drive now from Kilkenny. Bulger's in at scrum half.
Ball is out with Poole. Poole avoids one man, two man. He's moving across to the right hand side before he's tackled. He didn't really gain any ground, but he kept the ball alive. The ball is with Bulger again at the base, out to Killian Lett. Killian Lett is tackled after avoiding the first man, but he manages to drive forward with a bit of support from his one or two of his forwards. Back with Bulger to big tall Tomas Stamp. Stamp is put to ground. He manages to feed it back. They're going right. This time it's out to the number 5 for Decky. It's with Decky O'Brien now, so Decky drives forward, but their support may not have got there in time. The referee is the handout, and much to the chagrin of the Kilkenny bench here to our right, they thought the penalty should have went the other way. The referee is very sure penalty to Enniscorthy. Well, Gordon, what do you think of that?
Well, I think the viewers can see for themselves there. The pictures were quite clear. The Enniscorthy man went in on his own. The jackal came over very quickly. He looked like he was in the perfect
taking a quick
position.
tap here. Killian Lett drives forward within 5 metres of the goal line. Ball is back with Bulger. Poole onto Sean Wall, I think it is, who's tackled. Again, driven forward. It's very, very close to the line. Only inches short of the line now. Bulger moves to the right to Decky O'Brien, who's tackled. Back with Bulger. Bulger is knocked backwards by John Phelan, and but Enniscorthy somehow managed to rescue the ball, and this time they're penalised. This time the Kilkenny bench are happy, and they'll get a bit of relief from that intense period of pressure from Enniscorthy, where they managed to win the penalty and can now kick the ball for the safety of touch.
Yes, it was a quickly taken penalty there by Enniscorthy. It would have been a very kickable penalty, Dermot, to put them 6 points clear. You'd wonder will they rue that chance. Enniscorthy are making a couple of substitutions down here in front of us. They're going to bring on Angelo Tedesco, the number 19, and the number 18, Alan Jacob. Looks like he's going to enter the fray, but
Ted,
there's
go
an
with it.
and the two players coming off are going to be David Murphy, the hooker, and Tom Ryan, the flanker.
Number 2, David Murphy. For number 9, Angelo Tedesco. Number 7, Enniscorthy, Tom Ryan. For number 18.
So Alan Jacob and Angelo Tedesco are the two players coming on for Enniscorthy, and they're replacing, as you say, Gordon, David Murphy and Tom Ryan. And McInerney kicks finds a very good touch out on his own 10-metre line. So a chance for Kilkenny to win the line out and make some progress upfield, trailing by 6 points to 3. And time of the clock says 20 minutes. So we're halfway through the second half, and we've only the one score so far. Ball is overthrown, however. Decky O'Brien at the back. He tidies it up for Enniscorthy. So it's a chance wasted for Kilkenny. Pressure back on them now as Ivan Poole kicks for the corner. Ball is coming to Joe Emanuel. Joe calls for the mark and gets it. And there's just a little bit of a small little argy-bargy between the opposing wingers. But it's Joe Emanuel now with a chance to clear to touch.
He's an interesting technique, Dermot, in taking the ball.
He hasn't found touch.
In that he actually signals to the mark long before the ball comes to him.
Yeah.
So he's possibly tempting fate as Ross Barber tries to make an incision there. He was almost through for a second. Ball's being moved left now.
And that's Tedesco, who's just on the pitch, and he drives forward, replacement hooker, and he's penalised. But he's not penalised, his support is penalised for coming in from the side. So now it's a chance for Kilkenny again to relieve some pressure. So yes, it's been one half. The first half of the second half is now past, and it's been all Enniscorthy. A repeat of the opposite of the first half, where it was all Kilkenny in the first.
Yeah, and we've got a blood injury here for Kilkenny.
Looks like their captain, I think. Is it Doc O'Connor, I think?
It is indeed, and it looks quite a nasty facial wound. There's a lot of claret there, which need to be cleaned up.
Tom Cudahy has gone into the back row to replace him, so it'll be interesting to see will the captain reappear. And again, another good kick from Rory McInerney into that breeze.
Yeah, he's striking the ball well, McInerney. In fact, he struck the ball better in this half than Enniscorthy did when they were trying to clear the lines. Two fine kicks now up the field has given Kilkenny the first time they've been in the Enniscorthy half now for quite some time. Well taken by Wesley Carter there. Kilkenny are cutting back inside, and
again it's Daz O'Brien with the drive forward. Back to McGrath, McInerney, outside to number 18, to Cudahy. His first involvement is to set up a ruck for Kilkenny, and the ball makes its way back to McInerney. Switch pass with Morden, back to McGrath, who goes right. But he's been driven back. He's lost maybe 5-6 metres. Enniscorthy are trying to get in over it, but it's rescued again by Jason Connolly, this time the hooker for Kilkenny. Back with McGrath, out to McInerney, and McInerney is kicking it's an up and under, and this time it's Ivan Jacob again, who's been very safe and secure under the high ball, but he's penalised for not releasing.
Good Kilkenny pressure there. They wrapped him up, and so now they have a chance to kick further into the corner. This is a good spell of pressure here from Kilkenny.
It sure is, and McInerney again, if he can get the ball inside the 22, it'll give Kilkenny a chance to set up a line out. The line out has worked reasonably well. Wesley Carter has cut some nice ball for them in the middle of the line out. I see Doc O'Connor is getting his forehead wrapped at the moment. He's not ready to come back on just yet, but I imagine he'll be back on shortly.
As this penalty is waiting to be taken, the referee is now speaking with his assistant on the far side. I think he has spotted possibly a some foul play, and it's going to be against Enniscorthy.
Yeah, I think it's something that happened over the far side. I'm not sure what it was, Gordon, but I think the penalty will probably stay here because it's more advantageous for Kilkenny.
Yeah, just the touch that seemed to be signalling, or his motion was that it put maybe a use of the shoulder and not using the arms in a tackle. So McInerney now with this kick up towards the Enniscorthy line. And again, he has struck it extremely well.
That's a beauty. So I'm watching the patching up job on Doc O'Connor. I don't think he's going to be back on for the line out. In fact, he won't be. So it's Lahey with the line out there. About Kilkenny, about 10 metres from the Enniscorthy line. Best attack in position they've had in the second half. Wesley Carter at the front. Ninehouse standing at 3. Ball goes to Carter, but the ball doesn't come back cleanly. However, they do get it back. McGrath has tidied up. There was a sort of a slap around his head, but the referee didn't see it, so it's back with Carter. They've lost about 15 metres, but they still have possession, so it's important here for Kilkenny to see can they get something out of this attack, because you would imagine that with this breeze there won't be too many attacks, as Ninehouse is driven back in the tackle by Enniscorthy, and Enniscorthy seem to have turned it over, and in fact they have turned it over. So tremendous defence by Enniscorthy. Ball is with Pym. Pym sees a gap, but it's closed off very quickly by Wesley Carter. Ball is with Bulger now at the base of the ruck. He gets it out to Ivan Poole. Poole slots it out to Ivan Jacob, but the referee has said that ball
passes
went forward. So scrum to Kilkenny. So despite turning over the ball, they have a chance here. But with the strong Enniscorthy scrum, Gordon, you'd imagine that they have to get in and out very quickly.
They would, and the Kilkenny captain Doc O'Connor has come back on. The repairs to his head. He's now got a big bandage around the head. So that'll be good news for Kilkenny as he gives his instructions now to the scrum half. Good spell this for Kilkenny. I couldn't understand why Enniscorthy just didn't, when they got that turnover, just didn't put boot to ball. Pym tried to make a break in the midfield. He was well marshalled, and
penalty against Enniscorthy. Their scrum was penalised there. So again, Rory McInerney. I think the kick's probably too hard, even into that wind, even under 22, Gordon.
It'll be an interesting choice. He's looking at it. No, he's going to go for the corner. He did think about it. He spoke briefly with his captain there, but he's kicking for the corner. Another attacking line out for Kilkenny.
Another excellent kick by McInerney. I mean, that's 3 or 4 up this left flank that he's gained good purchase off each of them, and this is 5 metres from the line.
Enniscorthy put unneeded pressure on themselves here, Dermot, by not clearing. They got that turnover, and all they need to do is kick it 60 yards down the field and relieve the pressure. So very difficult for Kilkenny to come back up.
Can Lahey find his man? No, there's a hold up, I think. So Lahey, can he find his man? Carter at the front, goes to Ninehouse in the middle. Ninehouse secures it. The pack gather around. They set up the driving maul. They've certainly got a few inches. Now they've got a few yards. Can they keep it going? They're very, very close. The referee is well positioned. They're down, but I think it's just short. The referee and the touch, I think the touch judge and the referee are going to consult here. We don't have a TMO, I'm afraid, but
there's no signal from the referee as to what he's doing here. He's certainly signalled timeout. There's a couple of Enniscorthy bodies slowly trying to pick themselves off. He's now speaking with the touch judge.
I think the touch judge may have seen the ball being grounded, Gordon. I'm not sure about this. Let's see. Yes. Touch judge Niall Bean saw the ball being grounded. I don't know who scored it, but it puts Kilkenny 8 points to 6 in front.
And that score has been rapturously applauded by a large travelling Kilkenny band of supporters. But again, I go back to the excellent turnover that Enniscorthy got in midfield. and they didn't kick it downfield. They tried to run the ball in their own 22, got turned over, and it's cost them dearly as Kilkenny go into an 8-6 lead, and the excellent Rory McInerney has got a kick now to extend it to 4 points.
Get Steve Ashmore's eye, see who scored. Steve! Steve! Who scored? Would you let me know when you find out, please? We just asked the Kilkenny coach Steve Ashmore who scored, and he has no idea. So here comes the kick from McInerney. Well, he's hit it well, but pulled it to the left. So the gamble to kick the touch rather than take the points has worked off.
And a fine driving maul there off that line out by Kilkenny. We're told now that Doc O'Connor apparently has scored the try for Kilkenny, having just come back on from his head wound, and I think he's getting a fresh bandage put on it now again.
Well, it'll make for an interesting last 10 minutes. We've had our first try scored in the last two Towns Cup finals. Last year was won 6-3 by Ashburn. So Doc O'Connor, will he be the hero? 10 minutes for Kilkenny to hang on, or maybe even score again.
Well, I imagine they're going to be under a lot of pressure here. Enniscorthy are the kings of the late scores, Dermot. They did it in the semi-final. They've scored a lot of tries in this year's competition.
And last weekend their seconds won the provincial seconds final with a last-minute penalty. So yes, they are the king of the late comeback. But the ball has been secured by Kilkenny. Back to McInerney, slings it out to the right. O'Brien onto Caddy. Caddy drives outside his 22. Pile up, but the ball is back, I think, with Kilkenny. So can they clear this? McGrath out to McInerney. Oh, it's not McInerney, it's Cudahy. But they're not making much ground, and the ball comes back again. They drive forward. Doc O'Connor, hero at the moment, drives forward with McInerney, and McInerney puts in a kick which bounces. Ball went back off Jacob. Jacob gets it inside to Ross Barber, but who couldn't hold on, and the ball is knocked forward. And
there's a chance there, Dermot. Very much a chance. It was a good inside ball, and Ross Barber, who was coming at great pace, just wasn't able to hold on to that pass. Of course, it was Kilkenny who lost last year's final in injury in extra time, 6-3, so they won't want to be the losers for a second consecutive year.
No, and the referee is getting the scrum set, even by the player. I'm not sure, somebody's receiving treatment. It looks like cramp. It's Joe Manuel. But Ross Barber, interestingly, played rugby league for Ireland back in 2007. So he's a fine pedigree in both codes.
Tim Townend, our referee, has penalised the Enniscorthy scrum. He penalised them up the top end of the pitch there just for the try for coming in at an angle, and he seems to be indicating that the loose head prop for Enniscorthy, James Doyle, is scrummaging illegally and trying to put too much pressure.
Well, actually, they've a replacement prop in. They have a new hooker, new prop in. So yeah, he's not happy anyway, the referee, with the new front row combination for Enniscorthy. So it's Lahey again. Lahey, who played with Cill Dara the year they won the league here in 2007-2008. So he knows the ground well. So let's see, can he find his man here again? He throws for Carter. And it's won again by Carter, driven on by Lahey. Ball is there for Jason Connolly at the back. And they're after making a few metres again. So this driving maul has already worked once. Can they make it work again? Ball is fed back to McGrath with McInerney out to O'Brien. Reverse pass to Manuel, I think, who's in fact is turned over by Enniscorthy. Daniel Pym out to Jacob. The ball comes off a Kilkenny hand, I think. Yeah, came off a Kilkenny hand, the clearance.
And we have another Kilkenny man suffering from cramp. Wesley Carter went down there. He's back up on his feet now. And
Well, it's nothing if not exciting, Gordon. I mean, this game is far from dead. It's been a great fight back by Kilkenny. Even though they're only down by 3 points, they hadn't seen any. They'd been locked in their own 22 for pretty much the open 20 minutes of the half, and they broke out and they worked up their way up the field and they scored what at the moment is the match-leading try. Will it be the match-winning try? And it's that man O'Connor drives off the back.
But certainly
It's a penalty against. Oh, it's a penalty against Kilkenny. There's a player injured on the ground.
A good jackal by Enniscorthy there. The players came forward. Player was on his own, isolated, and Kilkenny man Enniscorthy man was over him, and has won the retrieving penalty there. Jim Townend, the referee, is now speaking to the
John Phelan, the flanker, and the Kilkenny skipper, Doc O'Connor. Penalty. I wonder, is this kickable? I mean, is this worth it? Yes, I think Ivan Poole, it's inside his own half, but that wind is assisting, so even if he misses, a worst case scenario is they're down in Kilkenny territory. So,
and with the way their line-out has been malfunctioning, it probably wasn't worth going to the touchline because they couldn't guarantee to get the ball, and Ivan Poole's managed to move that forward a couple of yards when the referee is back turned there.
Yes, he's definitely sneaked a metre or two, but it's inside his own half, so it's a long kick, but the wind is helping. 5 to go, 5 minutes left. Here he goes Poole. He doesn't hang around. He's pushed it to the left, so it's still 8 points to 6 in favour of Kilkenny. 5 minutes to go, and it's a 22-metre dropout for Kilkenny, and McInerney with the ball is in no rush with this.
Yes, I think Ivan Poole there tried to make up for the previous time he'd pushed it to the right, so he started that one there out to the left of the post, but it didn't swing back. He expected it to come back. That's been knocked forward. No, it's been knocked back. Tim Townend says, and Kilkenny are in possession. The ball is inside the 22, so they can probably kick all right, but they're moving it wide. They're moving it wide into the strong wind. Caddy running well.
They made good ground there. Daz O'Brien, who's put the touch on his own 10-metre line. Definitely a good move by Kilkenny. Keeping ball in hand. Out to Carter. Carter gives it to O'Connor.
It was well lined up in the tackle there.
By Decky O'Brien. But they still keep going forward. Nienhouse brings it forward another couple of metres. They're at the 10-metre line now on the far side of the pitch, in front of the VIP box. McInerney gets it back. Oh, it's intercepted. Oh, can he make it? It's Alan Jacob gives it out to Tomas Stamp. Enniscorthy are 5 metres, 6 metres out. An errant pass has Kilkenny under serious pressure. This time I think it's Killian Lett who draw forward. But it's Bulger with the ball at the base, 5 metres out. What can Kilkenny do, or what can Enniscorthy do here?
They've lost the ball in attack.
Scrum to Kilkenny, but they're only 5 metres from their own line. It's certainly exciting, Gordon.
It certainly is, as there's an injury now to a couple of Enniscorthy players. From the interception, I thought he was away, but didn't seem to have the pace, Dermot, to really go there. Kilkenny were able to get back and defend it. They were possibly a little bit lucky at the previous ruck. A couple of Kilkenny hands came over and started to scrag the scrum half, and it could easily have been a penalty to Enniscorthy, but the play went to the left, and we have what looks maybe like a serious injury to a Kilkenny player up on the 10-metre line. There's a couple of St John's ambulance people on, I think, and the referee Tim Townend has come up. He's speaking now with his touch judge. But as we said earlier, Dermot, Enniscorthy, the kings of the late try. They very sneaked one there. They're now down, and they've the strong scrum. If they can keep it legal, they've been penalised in the last couple of scrums.
Yeah, ever since they changed their front row, they've coughed up a couple of penalties. But yeah, I think it was the wrong man, the wrong place. It needed one of the backs to get the ball. Instead, it was number 18, Alan Jacob. He set the play up for them, but he didn't have the pace to make the 30 metres or so. That would have maybe set him up as the Towns Cup final hero. So the player on the far side is still getting treatment, Gordon. I'm not sure who it is. I think it might be Nienhouse. Nienhouse took the ball in on a drive over that area, and I can see the straps of a jumper. So yeah, I think it is Nienhouse, but he's getting back to his feet. So hopefully he'll be able to rejoin the fray, because I suppose it's still backs to the wall for Kilkenny as they have a defensive scrum on their own 5 metre line.
Yes, he did. He was stretched out there for some time, but he's come back. He's jogging back now into position to rejoin his pack. The referee is now talking to his touchouts on the far side, along with one of the support staff of Kilkenny. I think he was possibly just checking Dermot to ensure that Nienhouse wasn't concussed and he is genuinely fit to continue. But he's an important player for Kilkenny. They wouldn't want to lose a man of his size and bulk in a defensive position like this. You're looking at your watch.
I'm looking at my watch because it's just gone past the 80, so we're now into injury time, and we're getting a signal that there's about 3 minutes injury time. So Kilkenny have 3 minutes to survive. They've won the scrum, they lock it out. It's gone down, but they've managed to get it away. Doc O'Connor takes it on, but the ball is turned over by Enniscorthy, so it's not over yet. Ball comes out to Pym. Pym tries to set it up for I can't make out who that is. It could be Ivan Jacob, but the referee is called play back now. Is it a penalty? Is it a scrum? I'm not sure what he's given here. It looks like a penalty. It's a penalty for Enniscorthy, Gordon. So we have late drama.
It is indeed. I thought there might have been a penalty in the middle there. He obviously decided the Kilkenny player was genuinely trapped in there and couldn't free himself to roll away, and therefore it was only going to be a scrum there. So here we have a chance now for Ivan Poole to be the hero for Enniscorthy. As you say, we probably played about a minute of injury time at this stage. The signal from our announcer down below was that there was 3 minutes, so probably down to about 2 minutes to play now.
Yeah, it's probably 2 left, so Ivan Poole taking his time with this one. Ivan tends not to hang around when kicking penalties. So again, wind assisted. He has missed one from over that area at the start of the second half, maybe 10 metres longer. So he has an idea of what way the wind is blowing over there. So it's a chance for Poole. Here he comes. This could be the winning of the Towns Cup. He likes it, the crowd like it, and up go the flags. So Ivan Poole, with his third successful kick of the day, has put Enniscorthy 9 points to 8 up, and we have about a minute or a minute and a half left of injury time.
Yeah, it was a fine strike there, Dermot. He kept the head down, kept his composure, and we have a 1 point game now with Rory McInerney about to kick off. It's a good kick-off, gives Kilkenny a chance to regain possession. Carter was well up there, but no, Enniscorthy have taken it.
Oh no, it's knocked down. So about a minute ago, Enniscorthy with possession. They have the scrum. It's inside their own 10 metre line. You would think just a little bit of control here for the last minute or so is what Enniscorthy require.
But there have been occasions in this game, Dermot, where we've said a bit of control is required, and it hasn't happened. So you could well see a penalty here to Kilkenny or a mistake by Enniscorthy, and suddenly we have a nail gripper right to the end.
So Bulger with the feed. The scrum is wheeled. It comes out. I think Enniscorthy have it, but they're struggling to get it back. They eventually do. Bulger back to Poole, who puts boot the ball, doesn't get great purchase on it. It's taken by O'Connor. No, he can't grab it. He knocked it on. Enniscorthy have it, and the referee indicates a scrum. So have we time for the scrum? That is the question.
The answer looks like yes. Yeah. As another sub comes in, like a couple of Kilkenny subs coming on. Number 16. Darren Ball, number 19 Robbie Walsh are coming on. Kilkenny put a lot of pressure down on the Enniscorthy scrum there. Yeah. Enniscorthy did very well to really hang on to it, but it was a poor kick then by Ivan Poole. He was under a little bit of pressure and he put it straight up in the air instead of getting length on it.
So here we go again. The scrum this time is on the 10 metre line of Enniscorthy. Bulger with the feed. This could be the last play of the game. if Enniscorthy can win it and get out of play, you would feel that would be it. They would be the winners of the 90th Provincial Towns Cup, sponsored by Bank of Ireland. So the ball is at the feet of Timmy Morrissey, but it's not back. It's knocked back, but it wasn't brilliant. Poole doesn't get hit off the park. It's taken by Liam Caddy. Caddy manages to, lovely dummy by Caddy, and he goes again. He manages to make about 10-15 metres. The referee's his hand out, so I think we have an advantage coming for Enniscorthy, or Kilkenny I should say. Penalty advantage I would think. Ninehouse drives forward, he manages to offload. It's picked up by Enniscorthy, by Darren Ball I think, out to this side where Podge Mahan takes it on. Mahan drives forward inside the 10. Desperate defence now by Enniscorthy. Ball is taken by Rob Walsh. Back to Liam Caddy, back to McInerney. What can Kilkenny conjure up here in the final moments, the dying moments of the 90th Towns Cup final? Ball is with the replacement, Walsh, who takes it on, gives it to Cudahy. But the ball is knocked forward. Is that it? Is that the moment that Enniscorthy have secured the Towns Cup? Back it comes to Bulger. Bulger back to Killian Lett. Killian Lett running it out to Ivan Poole. Poole back inside to Ivan Jacob. Jacob drives forward. Missed tackle. He keeps going. Is the support there? It just about arrives in time. Referee is awarding a penalty advantage, I think. Ball goes back to number 8. It's Sean Wall. Wall drives forward. Back with Bulger, the scrum half. Again, it's driven forward by Enniscorthy. Bulger manages to go forward. It's back to Tomas Stamp. Tomas, who coaches in CBS Enniscorthy, who won this year's McMullen Cup under Ivan Poole with the snap drop goal attempt, but he knew he had an advantage coming, so does he go for the post or does he kick it dead? We'll have to wait and see what the referee says about time. The referee is looking at his watch.
Obviously we may have been given a little bit of bum information, Dermot, about how long there was to go, because we must be up to nearly 5 minutes now.
Yeah, we're 6 minutes into injury time now, but having said that, there were, since that last scrum, there's been maybe a good lengthy up and down the pitch, across the pitch.
Yes, I was enjoying you in full flow there. You were getting very much into it, and of course you'll have to leave us directly after this commentary to go over and organise the presentation on the far side of the pitch. And at the moment it looks like it's going to be John Glacken, the president of Leinster Branch, who will be presenting the cup to Killian Lett, the captain of Enniscorthy.
Yes, and Timmy Morrissey has just come off. Timmy Morrissey has just come off for Enniscorthy, and while he's been replaced, Ivan Poole is eyeing up the post again. So this is to make it a 4-point game if he gets this. So Poole goes again, starts his run up, and we're well positioned, but he drills it wide. But doesn't make any difference, because I think Ivan Poole is signalling it's over. So is the referee, and Enniscorthy have won the 90th Provincial Towns Cup, and they've won it for the 7th time in their history, and well deserved, I think, Gordon.
Yes, I think despite the fact Kilkenny came back well in the second half and got a good try, Enniscorthy, on the basis of how well they played in the first half into that strong win, probably deserved it. They were slightly strong. The stronger scrum. If their line-out had worked, I think they might have won this by quite a convincing margin. But it caps a great season for them. As you were saying earlier, their seconds won the Seconds Towns Cup there last weekend. So now they have the double at that stage, and they can look forward to a long summer's rest now and get ready for a fresh season next year.
Yes, absolutely, and of course next season they are both in action in Division 1A of the Leinster League, so it should be a fine season to look forward to. But right now they're just going to celebrate, lift the trophy. It'll be their captain, and I suppose with that it's time to say goodbye from Beach Park, goodbye from Cill Dara. We hope you enjoyed this telecast brought by video on the net, the Irish Rugby and Leinster Rugby, and from Gordon and myself, Dermot O'Mahony, goodbye. Turn this off, Paul.